You are listening to KSG Podcast. This is a short, crisp, concise, exam-oriented, edited editorial for civil services aspirants. In this podcast, we are going to talk about PFI declared a terrorist organization. Source for the content is Apurva Vishwanath's article for the Indian Express. The central government has announced a ban on the Popular Front of India, that is PFI, the organization whose leaders and officers were raided by the National Investigation Agency or the NIA and the Enforcement Directorate, that is ED, in states across the country on 28th of September 2022. Now, what does the ban notification say? The notification issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs imposed a ban on the PFI and its associate organizations, including the Rehab India Foundation and Campus Front of India, for 5 years under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, that is UAPA 1967. The notification gave a number of reasons, including that the PFI and its associates or affiliates or fronts operate openly as socio-economic, educational, and political organization, but they have been pursuing a secret agenda to radicalize a particular section of the society, working towards undermining the concept of democracy and show sheer disrespect towards the constitutional authority and constitutional setup of the country. It also said that the PFI and its associates or affiliates or fronts have been indulging in unlawful activities which are prejudicial to the integrity, sovereignty, and security of the country and have the potential of disturbing public peace and communal harmony of the country and supporting militancy in the country. Therefore, the notification said the central government had decided to declare the PFI and its various fronts as an unlawful association with immediate effect. So, what does the ban on the PFI mean? The UAPA, India's main law against terrorism and terrorist activities, allows the government to declare an organization an unlawful association or a terrorist organization, which is often colloquially described as a ban on the organizations. Declaring an organization a terrorist organization, as has happened in the case of the PFI now, has serious consequences in law, which include the criminalization of its membership and the forfeiture of the properties of the organization. This is in line with global action against terrorism. From 1997 onward, several resolutions of the United Nations Security Council have required UN member states to take action against certain terrorists and terrorist organizations, to freeze their assets and other economic resources, to prevent their entry into or the transit through their territory, and to prevent the direct or indirect supply, sale, or transfer of arms and ammunition to those individuals or entities listed in the relevant schedule. An amendment in the UAPA in 2019 added a provision by which individuals can be designated as terrorists with the intention of reducing the chances of the regrouping of the leaders or members of banned organizations under other names. Now, under what circumstances is an organization declared a terrorist organization? Under Section 35 of the UAPA, the central government has the powers to declare an organization a terrorist organization only if it believes that it is involved in terrorism. The schedule can be amended by the government to add or remove organizations from the list. The law states that an organization shall be deemed to be involved in terrorism if it A. commits or participates in acts of terrorism, or B. prepares for terrorism, C. promotes or encourages terrorism, or is otherwise involved in terrorism. Now, what recourse is available to a terrorist organization? An application can be made to the central government to remove an organization from the schedule by the organization itself or any person affected by the inclusion of the organization in the schedule. A review committee is then appointed, which is headed by a sitting or a former judge of a high court, to judicially review the application. The organization will be removed if the review committee considers that the decision to reject was flawed when considered in the light of the principles applicable on an application for judicial review. That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. To join KSG India courses and to crack the IAS exam, visit ksgindia.com. You can also get a PDF of this podcast on ksgindia.com. Thanks for listening and do subscribe to our channel.